we all have things in our lives that we're attached to. You know, I'm not talking about people or animals or even places, but the things in our lives that we like to have around us, the things that make us happy. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 things that I just can't live without. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Mary, I'm 50 years old, and I love experimenting with products, devices, methods, anything that's going to help me look as young as I feel. Today's video is a bit different though. I'm not doing a skincare or a nail care or hair care or any kind of beauty stuff. I'm actually doing something that's a little bit more about me. I had seen a video on YouTube done by Eugene Levy. He is the mastermind behind Schitt's Creek, and if you haven't seen that show, I suggest you go check it out. So anyway, he had done a YouTube video about, I think it was the 15 things that he loves or always has with him or whatever, and it gave a real insight into the type of person he is. So I figured I would do one of those videos for you today. So if you like the look of this video, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and also hit that thumbs up and the notification bell so that you know every time a new video uploads, which takes place every Friday. So this is going to cover all sorts of stuff, and you're going to probably learn a lot more about me than you really wanted to know. But let's get started. Okay, these are not in any particular order of preference or whatever, but I am going to start with the skincare because it wouldn't be me if I didn't. And the first thing on my list is prescription tretinoin. And what that is a vitamin A derivative, and I really believe that it's probably the powerhouse of my skincare routine when it comes to anti-aging. This is a product that is by prescription only, which means you have to be monitored by a doctor, and it's the most sort of potent and the strongest thing that you can get topically to help fight the signs of aging. So I'm not going to go into all of the details. I've done loads of videos about it, but the one that is nearest and dearest to my heart is by a company called Dermatica. They're kind of an online pharmacy prescription subscription service. So you do online consultations with their dermatologist, and they will put together a custom formulation for you and ship it to your house every month. I've been using this particular service for just over a year now, and I absolutely adore it. I think anybody over the age of 30 should have a prescription tretinoin in their regime, and you may not have access to Dermatica depending on where you live, but if you do, check them out, and I will put the details down below. And if not, you should visit your dermatologist and get that into your routine, because I think I started at about 42. I wish I'd started in my 30s, but in fairness, I don't look my age, and I think that is partly due to my use of tretinoin. So that's one I'm not giving up. End of story. Thank you, Dermatica. The second thing on my list is, actually it's a hairdryer. And I did a video about this last year, and it was a real game changer for me. I'm not great with like styling and doing my hair. I'm pretty half-assed with it, but this was a real game changer for me, and it gave volume to my hair. I have thin, kind of limp hair, very straight, very boring, but this made it look like I've got hair that can face the day, and it looks like I have more skills than I do. It's called the Revlon Pro Collection One-Step Hair Dryer and Volumizer, and yes, it is a one-step hair dryer and volumizer. So I leave my hair slightly damp, a little bit on the drier side. I can blow dry my head now in even less time than I did in that video, which I think was about 5 minutes. And I have one for the States that I take when I travel there, and I have one in Europe. That's how much I like this thing. So for me, it is a no-brainer. No, I haven't tried the Dyson yet. I'm still in arguments with the cameraman about that one, but for now, this is one that I never go without. The next one on my list is a leather organizer. Now, I think I got my first one on a trip to the UK when I was either 15 or 16 years old. It was my first Filofax, and I have never not had one. I've had big ones, I've had small ones, I've had thick ones, thin ones, whatever. I've used them as wallets. I literally have never been without a leather organizer since the age of 15. This particular one is by Traveler's Notebook, and it has a couple of different sections. You can add in different things, but I've used them in different ways throughout my entire life, and I don't have the best memory, so I have to write everything down. And yeah, you know, I use the iPhone mostly for work-related stuff, but I like to keep the personal things in sort of a tactile manner. I have Post-its in it. I'm sort of that way. I like my office supplies and I like organization. So I have never been without one. I think I've probably had 30 or 35 of these in my collection over the years, and I kind of trade them in and out just like I do my wallets, and it helps to keep me on track and gets me where I need to go. So yes, I use the iPhone. Yes, I use technology. I use them together, but there's just something about the physical tactile side of this that I refuse to let go of. Call me old-fashioned. I'm okay with it. The next are things I wear on my feet. My flip-flops. If you know me at all, you will know that I wear flip-flops as much as humanly possible. Now, COVID has been great for that because I haven't really left the house in a year plus. And even in the wintertime, I've had flip-flops on every single day. So I wear them to work, and I will put on a pair of heels or, work appropriate shoes when the time requires. And I'll wear heels and stuff when I go out, or nicer shoes. But generally, 80% of the time, I'm wearing flip-flops. Now, there's one brand that I've been using now for probably the last 4 or 5 years, and it is the brand Fit Flops. And they're plastic, they're super comfortable, they're ergonomic, and I have them in a whole bunch of different colors. Not that I'm necessarily trying to color coordinate, because sure, they're feckin' flip-flops. But I love them, and I can run a marathon in them. I could play tennis in them. They are more comfortable than being without shoes, and they are the most comfortable shoe that I own. And, I've always grown up in warm climates. I lived in Florida from 0 to 18. I lived in California from 18 to 35. Now I'm living in a pretty cold climate, but my daughter last night, as we were talking about this video, I said that I was wearing the flip-flops except in the winter. And she's like, no, Mom, you still wear them in winter. I was laughing at you when you picked me up at school in the pouring down rain in December. I didn't remember that day. But sure, there you go. For me, it's either flip-flops or biker boots. Generally, it's flip-flops. Okay, the next two sort of go hand in hand, and it's in that sleep environment. I take my sleep very seriously. And I learned sort of in high school that I'm very susceptible to the light. The sunlight, I must be a bit vampire. I have to sleep with a mask. And I've slept with a mask since the age of 18. I remember I used to spend every Saturday night at my girlfriend's house in high school, sort of my senior year. And she was a late sleeper, and I was not. So I'd be up at 7, kind of poking her, going, come on, let's go to the beach, let's go to the beach. And one day she just took the mask off her head, gave it to me. I put it on, and I slept until 1 o'clock. So that day, I ran out and bought a mask, and I have had one ever since. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. I know that, but I can't travel without one. And if I have found myself, which has happened on more than one occasion, without a mask, I have to tie a towel around my head or tie a t-shirt around my head. It's that bad, or I'm not going to sleep. So I learned over the years, I keep a mask in every bag. I have multiple ones in the nightstand. It doesn't matter what brand it is. They're not expensive. They're not big, lavender filled silk numbers that cost 80 quid. Yeah, I don't do that. Half the time they were stolen from airplanes back in the day when they gave those to you when you went on the plane, and I would just have a stack, and when they died, and they do, I wear them out, then you throw them off and you grab another one. You will never find me without a mask. It's just a part of my sleep pattern, and I love it, and it's not hurting anybody. Sort of hand in hand with the mask is the next one, and that's a fan. This, I guess, is a little bit weird, and nobody over the course of my life has appreciated this at all. And it's been dubbed Hurricane Mary for years and years and years by college roommates and whatever. I started sleeping with a fan when I was a kid in Florida because it's hot. And I've never let go of that. I used to get in arguments with my mom when I was in high school because if I had a cold, I'd still have the fan going and the window open. I tend to, I'm hot when I sleep, and I do not like that. So I've always had a fan. I have travel fans for Europe. I have a travel fan for the US. But this year was exciting because it's the first time I've actually invested in a fan, which I've never done. I just buy a fan, and I kill fans. Fans last about a year because they're being used every single day, which surely is not their intention, for 7 or 8 hours a night. I got a Dyson. It's an extravagant amount of money to spend on a stupid fan, but I don't care. I love it so much. And I think I'm not the only person that has benefited from this because 2 things. One, it's pretty quiet. Now, it's part of the reason I like the fan is the sound, and it was great when you have small kids and you're trying to get them to go to sleep and you can just turn it up and not hear a whole lot. Shh, I didn't do that. But I love the wind. In the middle of the winter, I can have the covers up to my chin, but I still love having that air sort of right on my face. Well, your man doesn't like it. Nobody's ever liked it. So the beauty of this Dyson is it has this stream that somehow literally is just on my head. Nobody else is going to feel it. No one else is going to know about it. So the best things about this fan is that it's quiet and it's targeted. So it's perfection. I just wish it was small and portable and I could take it with me everywhere. But for now, I'm enjoying it and I love it so.
Crazy person.
And he just called me a crazy person. I know. It's not the first time I've heard that, and it's not going to be the last. Okay, the next on my list is a mist. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I swear to you, I am never not within 10 feet of a misting product. Yes, I'm 50, and with that comes the joys of dehydrated skin and oh my God, if you don't have a bit of moisture in your skin, it just goes to shit pretty fast. So I keep them in my bag. They're in every desk. They're in every room of the house. And if I get a little parched and I can feel my skin starts to get tight, I don't like that feeling. So I spritz. I mean, I'm in the middle of Zoom calls with the office and just out of nowhere I spritz, and I kind of forget because I've been living, I've been alone for so long in this little space for work that I kind of forget that other people are looking at me when I'm on a Zoom call, and out of nowhere, they're used to it. I've been doing it for years. It's gotten a lot worse as I've gotten older in the past year or so, but I have mists everywhere, and I'm not going to be without them. So if you happen to have dehydrated skin, it'll be your best friend. This guy costs about $15. I buy 1 or 2 of these a month. They're everywhere, and they make my skin feel soft and hydrated. So that's that. The next one is sort of a sentimental thing, I guess. I've always loved jewelry. I have always loved jewelry, and I've always worn a lot of jewelry. But things have kind of shifted for me in the past couple of years in that I've moved in more to sort of sentimental antique jewelry. So I was lucky enough to have inherited some pieces from my grandmothers who are no longer with me, and they're pieces that I've started to wear absolutely every single day. And I've also sort of made that shift from silver or white gold jewelry into yellow gold. So it's been a kind of a complete shift. But what it means is I'm starting to get really, really attached to things, and jewelry has more meaning for me. It used to be sort of fun and it would be an accessory sort of thing, but now it's a sentimental thing and it's an attachment to people that aren't here anymore. So I realized in the past, I don't know, year or two, that there's lots of things that I'd actually been given, 21st birthdays and graduations and stuff that I never really wore because I wasn't a yellow gold girl. And now I am. And I'm discovering all these things going, I didn't even realize I had that. And I've been wearing lots and lots of things, and it brings me joy. So I don't think I have any less than 4 or 5 pieces of jewelry every single day, and even if I don't leave the house, I'm putting the jewelry on because it makes me smile. It makes me feel connected. A bracelet that was my grandmother's, a ring that was my other grandmother's, and these pieces that I've had since I was 18 years old. So every single day you will see me dripping in things, and I'm starting to love the whole term neck mess. And these are things that I know I'm going to get to pass down to my girls. And even my eldest, who's 18, starts playing around because, ooh, I really like that. Okay, well, you can put your name on that, sister. You can have that down the road. So I'm starting to add to it. I've gotten pieces for my 50th. I've gotten things from my mom, and I've gotten things from cameraman. And I'm starting to expand the collection. And I'm enjoying it because these are things that have a history to them, whether I know them or not. But I'm not buying new jewelry. I'm not buying anything new anymore. I'm only looking and interested in things that have a bit of background and a bit of history to it. So I've a couple of just great antique jewelers from the UK, and I'll put some of those details down below because you just never know what you're going to find. So these are things that have meaning for me, and I love putting them on the same way when I would get dressed in the morning. This is just as important a piece. And I love this sort of neck mess where things are layered on top of each other, and every day it's a different charm, it's a different length. I have, generally wear no less than 2 necklaces and sometimes way more. So it's a bit of fun, and now it's a part of me, and it's actually a part of what I do every day. Okay guys, only 2 left on the list. One of them is my YETI. Oh my gosh, you will never see me. Listen, ice water. It's my best friend. And this YETI keeps that puppy cold all day long. You put ice in that, and I go to bed at night. I wake up in the morning, there is still ice in it, and it is freezing cold water. And I am sort of, I'm an American. I like ice water. Even here in Ireland, we go out for dinner. I'm like, can I have ice water, please? Nobody asks for ice water here. You just get water. High maintenance, whatever. But my YETI keeps it cold all day long. So I have 2 of them, and I rotate them. That's not true. I left one in Florida when I was visiting my mother. I have one. I clean it out every morning, and we start again, and it is constantly filled with ice water, no matter where I go. It goes in the car. It goes to work. It goes everywhere with me. Keeping hydrated, it's important. Drink your water. And if you like your cold water or your hot coffee, you can make a hot coffee. And if you're like me, yes, it takes me an hour and a half to drink a coffee. It keeps it warm. The best $40 you'll ever spend is on a YETI. And the very last item on the list is one I really can't go without, and it's going to expose me now for one of my least redeeming qualities. And that is my ability to lose things. So I'm talking about my iWatch. So my iWatch is great because it tells the time, fine. It has all these other little gadgety things, which is fantastic, but that's not why I like it. I like it because it helps me find my phone. I'm fucking always losing my phone. Doesn't matter where I am in the house. It's always on a different floor. I don't have pockets most of the time, so I just put it down and then I forget where that is. At work, It's not even funny. I never know where it is. So this little feature here has been my absolute lifesaver now. There's my phone in the drawer. Probably not the best place for it, but anyway. This helps me find my phone. And I swear to God, I am not using that feature any less than 3 or 4 times a day. We have a number of floors in the house up and down, so it could be anywhere. I could end up in the laundry room, which I didn't realize I put it down to put the laundry away. I mean, it could be anything. So this little puppy helps keep me on track, and I'm so glad I have it because people at my office like to hide my phone to see how I'm going to react and how long it takes me to find it. The cruel guys, but now the joke's on you because I can find it. So guys, that is a wrap up of 10 things that I really just can't or choose to not live without. They are a part of my everyday life. They are a part often of my every hour life. And the things that I'm attached to, and I'm not giving up. I don't care what anybody says. I hope you found that interesting, and I would really love to hear what are some of your favorite things. I mean, it says a lot about somebody, the things they can't live without. Because generally these are by choice. You know, of course I can live without a fan. I'm just not going to. So what are yours? Please put that information down in the comments below because I love to learn a little bit more about you too. So I will list sort of below links to all of these things if you're interested in getting some for yourself. And I had fun with this because the list is actually longer than 10, but you know, I don't want to keep you here forever, so maybe I'll do another one if you guys are interested. So thanks again for joining me today, guys, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Thanks. We only have 2 left.
Yay.
How long do you think it's going to be?
15 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.